What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garden. So today we want to talk to you guys about a problem that a lot of gardens could have, and by making a quick change, you probably can see an almost immediate result in your garden if your garden is struggling. All right, and we're going to talk about that right now.
All right, guys, so we're going to start with some peppers that we're growing, and these are some cayenne peppers that we're growing. And as you can see, these are in full sun out here in the desert where we are, but as you take a closer look, you can see what seems to be some blossom end rot, and this pepper plant is not thriving as much as we would like. The size of the peppers, we're not getting the size of peppers that we like. Okay, but I'm going to take you guys back to this shaded area in the garden. First of all, there's a tree here, and then the side of the house. And we have this cayenne pepper plant. And as you can see, guys, look at these peppers. They are huge, probably as long as my hand. And the plant itself is really lush and green, and it's sitting in a different area of the garden. And we have at this point attributed its health and its growth to its position in the garden. So we definitely consider this a microclimate, and not just that one, but there's another pepper plant right next to it. And these are some Cubanelle peppers, and this plant is doing just as good as the one next to it. And this is not the only reason we feel this way. If you guys look behind these two plants, this whole area is really lush and green. I have some turmeric right behind this first pepper. Behind that, there's a moringa tree. Next to that, to the left of that moringa tree, is some ginger and also some oregano right in front of that one. So we just believe that this area, after the few years that we've been growing over here, this area really preserves the plants really well inside of this high desert.
The next thing we want to show you are these roselle trees right here. This is Jamaican sorrel or roselle. So this is our third year plant growing these. The first year we grew them on the west side of the garden. They were still along the gate, but on the west side in full all-day sun. The plants that we had never grew bigger than the plant that's on the far right. Okay, and I know everybody's like, okay, yeah, but roselle loves sun. It's a tropical plant and all that good stuff. Yeah, but for whatever reason, I guess we don't have the same sun. We're not sharing the same sun as where it normally grows, right? Because it didn't like it, and it never got as big as that plant on the far right. Not until it started to cool off. So last year we moved the plant. We started growing them over here, and these have only been in these containers maybe a month. I don't even think it's been a month yet. I don't even think it's been a full 30 days. And look at how beautiful they are. Look at how they're growing. Because and the same thing last year. Like the first year we grew them, they were so stagnant. We didn't get any calyx. Last year we actually got flowers. We actually got calyx. So we're expecting the same thing this year as well. And matter of fact, let me see. Still nothing yet in terms of calyx, but it's still early. Like I said, they haven't been in the ground in those planters more than like 30 days. So that's another example. And the last example, all right, so you guys already know I grow potatoes in big black containers, right? The BBBs. But for some reason last year and this year, we really struggled with getting sweet potatoes to form, but we finally got sweet potatoes this year, right? So I'm happy about these because we got some. However, those are larger containers, and you would think bigger is better in terms of growth, which technically it is, okay? But those planters are in all-day, full-on sun. I know people say sweet potatoes love sun and they love heat, but once again, they don't like this level of heat, okay? Because they put out a bunch of foliage, but they weren't putting out potatoes. But Keisha decided she was going to come over here and plant a potato in the planter over here, and voila.
We're already doing way better over here. in this same
back up.
microclimate, guys, that
It's happening. You couldn't zoom in.
in the same microclimate that is right across from the peppers, guys. It's getting the same type of shade from the house. So it's important to pay attention to your garden, and it's also important not to give up, because we really want sweet potatoes and we really want to grow the things that we haven't been able to grow yet. But it's going to take you getting in there, pulling your sleeves up and figuring out what's going wrong in your garden so you can get, you know, the things that you want to grow no matter where you are.
You can make the adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, you can make the adjustments and be able to get what it is you want. So we're definitely encouraging everybody to don't wait until the end of the season this year and say, hey, I wasn't able to grow this, it didn't work out for me. In mid-season, and you know, go in, even before that, go in and see if you got potatoes growing, see how they're doing, and if they're not, make the adjustments then. All right, guys, so mid-season, take the time, pull up those sleeves, go in and make the adjustments instead of waiting until the season is over and you're like, oh, we didn't get any potatoes, or oh, we didn't get any corn. Better luck next year. Guess what? The same thing, you can repeat the same process next year if you don't go ahead and just make those adjustments. We don't want to lose out, and we don't want you guys to lose out on a wonderful harvest.
All right, guys, so that's it. That's all we have for you for today. So basically, the name of the game is understanding microclimates and like having things up next to a house or in a shaded area to boost production in some plants, right? Like you said, we understand that some say they require full sun. Full sun don't mean full sun. It does not always mean full sun, right? So you may have to change things around or change the layout of your garden based off of, like, if you see it's not producing, like, before you try to get rid of it, some things you may have to get rid of, like in the ground. We have melon plants that were not producing, and now they're producing because the weather has cooled.
Shut the water off, Mama.
But there may be things that you can't move because they're in the ground, and once you can't transplant them. But if you can transplant them, or if you have them in containers and you can move them to a better spot, then by all means do that. So understand microclimates. Like, I know this wasn't a full-on masterclass for microclimates, but you guys get the idea. But we do appreciate you guys for watching. You could have been anywhere right now, but you chose to be here with us, and we definitely appreciate that. If you found any value in this video,
Thank you, their mom.
In any way at all, please consider hitting the like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We will see you guys in the next video. And here's a video for you guys to watch. Continue following us on our garden journey. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Deuces.